This is based on a true story. A massive eruption at La Palma volcano created large fissures, causing landslides. 400 cubic kilometers of land sank into the sea, triggering a tsunami. The film's special effects are as spectacular as 2012. People race against death in a thrilling and intense experience. Who will survive this catastrophe? The story begins with a sightseeing boat full of tourists approaching the volcano. A tourist jumps into the water to swim. Soon, bubbles start rising from the water. The woman doesn't surface, she drifts under the boat. The others realize something is wrong. Toxic gas rises from the sea. Before the boat can escape, the glass bottom explodes due to the intense heat. Only 2 survive this accident, but local authorities don't take it seriously. Since it's a volcanic island, toxic gas is considered a normal natural phenomenon. The incident is dismissed as a minor mishap, especially since it's peak tourist season. 2 days later, while inspecting equipment, researchers discover a large crack along the mountain. Data analysis leads them to predict an impending catastrophe. The mountain will collapse due to a volcanic eruption. Nearly 500 cubic kilometers of rock will sink into the sea, creating a wave equivalent to a giant mega tsunami. The 2 researchers tell their bald boss, suggesting immediate evacuation. He ignores them, dismissing Lisa, the newcomer, as unprofessional. However, the next incident arrives sooner than expected. The next day, the 2 return to the fissure to collect data. They barely set up their equipment when headquarters detects a sharp increase in gas concentration. The boss immediately orders the evacuation of tourists from the mountain and calls Lisa.
From 1949 is expanding.
Gas emission is imminent. Do you hear me? A gas emission is imminent.
Run down the mountain. They encounter campers. Lisa shouts, "The gas is toxic. Get out of here." Several tourists flee, but the mountain smoke is too thick. They lose their way, and Lisa falls. She wakes up in the hospital, rescued with only minor injuries. Big Fat is still hospitalized due to inhaling too much gas. Other tourists aren't so lucky. Tong Tong dies from poisoning. The boss tells them the volcano area is sealed off. And there's no immediate danger, only gas is currently being emitted. It's unclear if ash and lava will erupt. The boss says, "I'm not disbelieving your predictions, but years ago, I faced a similar situation." Announcing a potential eruption caused panic. To convince higher-ups to order an evacuation. "We need sufficient data." He then notifies the Madrid Environment Department. They express concern but request more data. He assigns numerous staff to monitor the mountain area. Data shows the fissure is slowly widening, and a large amount of ash is accumulating on the surface. Meanwhile, tourist Eileen, arguing with her parents, buys a ticket to leave the island alone. As she boards the plane, instruments detect imminent ash eruption. The boss orders immediate contact with air traffic control to ban all flights to La Palma. But it's too late. As the ash erupts, the plane is already ascending when the pilot receives the cancellation notice. Meanwhile, Eileen's mother receives Eileen's message and boards a flight off the island. Union rushes down the mountain and tells Eileen's father that his daughter has flown away. He says flights are prohibited, but then sees a huge plane emerging from the ash. Soon, many injured are taken to the hospital. The couple frantically searches for Eileen, but to no avail. As they pass an operating room, they glimpse a blonde girl through a crack. Eileen's mother and Union ask the nurse if that's Eileen. Their daughter.
There must be some list of some sort of... No, but my daughter is me! No, I didn't know! No, I just want to know if it's my...
She shows them a list. Eileen isn't among the rescued. The police say those unaccounted for were mostly in the front seats, the section that exploded. They'll notify them if there's any news. The couple dejectedly returns to the hotel. Thinking their daughter is gone, they open the door to find Eileen sitting on the sofa. She received a message from a friend who convinced her to reconcile with her parents, allowing her to escape. Meanwhile, the boss and others request an evacuation order.
It is only ash, and it has happened before.
The crack is expanding as we speak.
And the evacuation also poses a risk to human life. We need to be sure.
If the eruptions turns from ash into lava, we're talking about hours. And rocks the size of
The
Manhattan.
higher-ups reject the request. The boss anticipated this. He tells his subordinates, "I've already sent my family away by boat. I suggest you do the same. The airport's closed, but the port's still operating. I'll stay until the end. But you should leave the island as soon as possible." Lisa and the boss bid farewell, intending to leave with his brother, but he causes trouble and is arrested. Imprisonment would be disastrous if the volcano erupts. Lisa tries to stop it, but interferes with police procedure and gets arrested. Her brother is released quickly, but Lisa remains imprisoned, unable to escape. Meanwhile, a volcanic eruption is imminent, a tsunami threatening millions of lives. The timing is uncertain. Everyone must prepare, but it must be kept secret to avoid panic. Eileen's uncle works in the foreign ministry. His sister's family is on the island. Secrecy is impossible. He checks for escape routes. Only a ferry remains operational. He urgently contacts Eileen's mother. The ferry departs in 20 minutes. Immediate departure is necessary.
Jennifer, hør på meg. Ikke avbryt. Det kan komme en tsunami.
Si det.
Ja, vi drar nå.
Frantically packing, Eileen doesn't understand, only that staying puts her in danger. She keeps asking about her friend. Eileen's mother promises to take her friend, but the friend isn't at the hotel, and the phone is unreachable.
Vi må dra! Det kommer en tsunami!
Finally, Eileen calms down. They wait a long time for a taxi. Minutes before the ferry leaves, Eileen's father steals a car. At the dock, they're blocked by a line of cars. Half a minute until departure, and the owner arrives. Eileen's father sends Eileen's mother and child aboard, but is stopped and confronted by the car owner. He empties his wallet to get away. The ferry has departed. He runs but misses it. He tries renting a boat. But the evacuation alarm sounds, and a woman refuses to rent him a boat. Luckily, he meets a man. The man buys 2 seats on a private speedboat and takes Eileen's father. As he boards, a huge explosion sounds behind him. A woman with a baby begs for help. The boatman says it's full. Eileen's father, kind-hearted, gives up his seat for the woman. Meanwhile, Lisa's brother pleads with the police to release his sister. The evacuation alarm sounds. Everyone is fleeing. "Please let my sister go." The policewoman says evacuations are by order. She refuses. Another officer bursts in, lava's coming down the mountain. This island's doomed. The policewoman realizes the danger. Ignores the prisoner and flees, leaving a set of keys. The brother unlocks Lisa. They release the man from the next cell, unaware he'll hinder their escape. Leaving the station, they see lava flowing down the mountain. The brother
Vi må komme oss av øya. Vi må bort.
says he has a dinghy rented earlier. Eileen's father joins them toward the sea. As they launch the dinghy, the released man appears with a gun, demanding the boat. Lisa and her brother survived the 2004 Thai tsunami, losing their parents, saving their brother. Now, he doesn't want to lose his sister again. He fights the man. Lisa's brother is shot. Eileen's father fights back, subduing the man underwater. He uses a rock and takes the gun. He takes Lisa away. Many escapees arrive. Eileen's father hesitates no more. He shoots anyone approaching. Lisa and Eileen's father set sail to find refuge. Eileen tells her uncle that her father didn't make it onto the boat, asking for help. He finds a wave prediction expert to locate a safe haven, saving her father and others. Using models and data, the expert identifies a bay where colliding waves will cancel each other out. This is the safe zone. Meanwhile, Eileen, her mother, and brother arrive at another island's airport. Eileen's mother gives up their passports, claiming her husband is behind in line, securing 4 boarding passes. As they're boarding, Eileen sees her friend at the back of the line, and insists on going to help her. Her mother doesn't want them separated. Eileen insists and promises to return. Her mother lets her go. Eileen finds her friend, and uses her father's pass to bring her friend aboard. The boss and Big Fat reach the volcano's summit, accepting their fate, wanting to witness the eruption as a final tribute to their careers as geologists. The moment arrives. A huge fissure appears, with land sinking into the sea, creating massive shockwaves. They hit another island. Panicking the passengers, especially Eileen's mother, who hasn't seen Eileen board. She decides to go find her. But as she gets off, Eileen and her friend arrive. They're on the same island, seeing the approaching tsunami. Lisa estimates it will take 20 minutes to reach them. She goes to find a vehicle and tells Eileen's father to wait. He's terrified. Meanwhile, the foreign ministry holds a press conference. The uncle, defying orders, reveals the safe zone coordinates, hoping the media will inform the public. Eileen's father receives a message showing the safe zone is on the other side of the coast. He urges Lisa to go. She's paralyzed by fear. He finally persuades her. They speed along the coast, with the tsunami behind them. It reaches the airport. As the plane prepares for takeoff, Eileen isn't on the plane. Her mother calls and learns they've left. They must fend for themselves. Eileen tells her mother that her uncle found a safe zone and urges them to go there. But how to find it? Luckily, her autistic brother drew a map with the exact coordinates while on the boat, and ground staff helped them. The plane is taking off, but the runway is crumbling. The tsunami is imminent. They're trapped. Eileen's mother and others reach the top of the mountain, the tsunami behind them. Lisa is nearing the coordinates. Her phone dies. Eileen's father takes a gamble. The coordinates are near where the waves collide. They turn into the bay and see the waves crash. The waves cancel each other out. They're safe. They're alive. Survivors gather, having seen the uncle's message. Eileen's father learns that several islands have been destroyed. Eileen's father is devastated, believing his family perished. He hears someone call, "Dad."
Papa!
It's Eileen's mother and brother. They're reunited. The scene shifts to the plane. Almost everyone is dead, except Eileen, who revives her friend with the help of a surviving flight attendant. They escape. The rescue team brings Eileen to the bay. The family is reunited. This is Escape from Volcano Island, based on a true story. Research shows that La Palma volcano erupted for 85 days in 2021. The longest eruption in centuries. Hundreds of homes were destroyed, 80 million kilograms of bananas were lost. Thankfully, there were no casualties as in the film. Residents near the eruption, including tourists, 5,500 people, were evacuated.